Hello and welcome back to another Talking Freight, brought to you by Ceresys, the transportation management company. Last week, we took a dive into automation to improve inbound logistics management, and today, we'll go even further. We'll go into the technology actually used to manage inbound freight and the processes so that you can have more compliant vendors and gain control over inbound shipping. Most shippers have existing vendor compliance programs in place within their vendor inbound routing guide. Unfortunately, the traditional way of inbound freight management, of sending out paper guides and even keeping updated online versions, has grown complex and difficult to control. Meanwhile, the importance of vendor compliance has grown more than ever as supply chains expand and companies are looking to trim the fat and optimize workflows to gain a competitive advantage. Fortunately, today's logistics technology has the power to execute a winning inbound freight strategy and the processes in place to maintain compliance in the following ways. So let's talk 5 ways inbound logistics technology and processes aid in better management. Number 1, different variables can be automatically tracked and accounted for within modern vendor modules. There are literally thousands of possibilities when it comes to selecting the best carrier, mode, insurance, protection plans, routes, and other variables in modern shipping practices. All this information means that combing through the possibilities by hand is both cost-intensive and physically tiring. So automation in managing these situations through algorithms and modern vendor modules is key to maximizing profits and reducing inbound logistics costs. Number 2, increased data analysis and increased shipment status visibility. Key performance indicators, or KPIs, within newer vendor modules can help you keep track of inbound logistics costs and possible issues. The TMS, which has the vendor module, also helps to ensure KPIs are accurate and reflect the most recent data available. If an issue appears to occur frequently and falls outside of the specified range, you can act to resolve the problem. In addition, some inbound logistics management providers may manage this process for you, letting you keep working to fulfill orders and keep your customers happy. Number 3, let's talk process. Call-in routing centers. Vendors want to sell more of their products and make a profit, and sometimes that profit comes at your expense, especially if you lack control and visibility into their actions. However, you can eliminate problems with using incorrect vendors by regaining the power of inbound logistics through call-in routing centers. For example, Ceresys' inbound logistics management within our Ceresys Rater, under our freight menu option, puts the power of choice in your hands through the following steps. Number 1, vendors call into the Ceresys Freight Desk and provide shipment details to the representative. The Ceresys representative enters the information into the Ceresys Rater. Notifications are generated and sent to both the vendor and buyer simultaneously. Upon logging into the Ceresys Rater and entering your PO number, you can then review the shipment details and provide additional instructions for shipping. Then the instructions are transmitted to the vendor, including pickup date and time, labeling, and other appropriate requirements for shipping. If an existing shipment needs rerouting, the Ceresys Freight Desk can complete the change at your request, or you have the option of rerouting the shipment from within the Ceresys Rater. Oh, and just one more thing. We also now have the ability for your vendors to log in themselves and book it on their own if they'd like to. They no longer have to call the freight desk or email them, although those options are still available. In addition, Ceresys can automatically audit invoices prior to you sending payment to carriers and resolving any discrepancies or inconsistencies. Therefore, your costs associated with inbound logistics stay as low and as accurate as possible. Number 4, advanced, broader vendor portals only show pertinent information to vendors, keeping proprietary information secure. One of the biggest risks in using paper guides for vendor inbound logistics is security. Your inbound logistics guide may contain proprietary information that relates to your inbound freight strategy and gives your company a competitive advantage. Unfortunately, vendors may not necessarily take the level of care in protecting the document as needed. In this situation, modern inbound logistics technology, such as our Ceresys Rater, to handle inbound logistics through our freight call-in desk, as we explained, or our vendor module, can eliminate the possible security breach. Moreover, the legal risk to vendors is reduced, which may result in lower costs of raw materials and supplies, leading to lower costs for your company, the buyer. And the final benefit, dashboards and real-time analytics. Changing rates and services provided by carriers continue to impact the costs incurred by buyers. By controlling carrier selection and managing the supply chain from procurement through last-mile delivery, shippers can find patterns that reduce overall operating costs that might not have been otherwise noticed. In addition, analytics can provide a means of verifying the accuracy of information provided by vendors against the actual status of shipments when picked up. Thus, vendors can be held liable for compliance violations, which may be used to strengthen the vendor-buyer relationship or seek out other potential suppliers. In conclusion, shipper requirements from vendors and increasing demand from consumers leave little room, if any, for error throughout inbound logistics. By utilizing modern technologies, including vendor portals such as our own Ceresys Radar, you can create and execute a strong inbound freight strategy, maximize vendor compliance, and lower your inbound freight cost. It's really a win-win for your company and your customers. That's it for this week's Talking Freight. Thanks for joining us for another episode. Hold up, before you go, make sure you click over here to subscribe to our channel, click over here to view all the inbound freight videos in our series, and click here above my head to go to ceresys.com.